Hey everybody. Once again, it's me testing out new operating systems or operating systems that are new to me anyway. And what I've got here, let me open up my fast fetch information. So I've got Refresh OS 3.1 or 3.0, sorry. And let's see, does it say, oh, it's running KDE Plasma for the desktop. It's obviously based on Debian. Let me expand this. So obviously it's based on Debian. You know, as with a lot of Debian Linux distributions, I don't know. It's getting to the point where I'm getting somewhat familiar. I'm definitely not an expert. I'll never claim to be an expert. I would like to be proficient, I guess you could say, but I don't know. I mean, this is kind of an ever evolving operating system, Linux. So new things are happening all the time, and because I think it's gained such popularity recently, even though it's been around for a long time, the amount of change that's coming just seems to be very quick paced. So you kind of have to be on things. That being said, I'm pretty somewhat familiar with Debian based Linux distributions, enough to be comfortable with them anyway. And so that's what this is. So again, this is Refresh OS 3.0. And this is what the desktop looks like. I did have this on a live USB, but it came with the option to install it. So I just went ahead and installed it on this computer. I'm actually on a vacation. I should probably be like just kind of relaxing and enjoying that stuff. But I wanted to make some content, even if it was really quick. So I found this OS and decided to download it and test it out. So this is where we're at. This is the Discover store, so I'll show you how I got into there. So it's actually just got an icon right down here. And so this is where you can download a lot of applications. It's got them separated in categories on this side. I've already downloaded the ones that I'm going to be using primarily, so you're going to find those under multimedia probably. Maybe I can don't download something new if I don't already have it on here. It doesn't look like it's in alphabetical order or anything. Oh, but we could probably sort it by that. Let's sort it by name. There we go. And then let's see if we can find GIMP on here. Well, there it is. The GIMP team, so the GNU image manipulation program. And it looks like I do have it already installed. So yeah, this is just where you would go to find and download applications. I already downloaded K-Patience, which is the solitaire game that if you watched any of my previous videos, you'll see that come up probably. But there's K-Patience, and then I guess you got this red trash can here because I've already got it installed. Otherwise, it would look like this little circle with an arrow pointing down in the center. So it gives me an option to remove it, and then I'll pull it up just so you can see what that looks like. So this menu system's a little different. I guess this must be, I don't know if this is like the most frequently used apps on the left or what the case is. I find that I just always go down to all apps because maybe what I'm looking for isn't on there. And then sometimes it's just easier to type in what you're looking for. So there's K-Patience right there. And then I always go for Klondike. And there we go. And yeah, I mean, it seems really responsive from what I've been able to tell so far. Again, I'm on vacation, so I'm just kind of finding something quick that I could review. But from what I can tell, it looks like it handles things pretty well. This is running KDE Plasma, and the Windows Manager, it does use Wayland, which I've kind of expressed in the past that I run these operating systems on a lot of older computers with older components. And I'm not sure why, but it seems like some of those older systems have a little bit more trouble handling the way Wayland works versus something like, I think the other one is X11. They seem to do a lot better on those systems. This computer is kind of newer compared to some of the computers that you've probably seen me run. Some of those previous operating systems that I've made videos on. So this might be able to handle it considering the technology that I'm working with here. But yeah, I mean, it seems to work out really well. It was very quick to download and install. And yeah, I mean, as far as I can tell, it's fully functional. As you can see, I downloaded this, I don't believe was the terminal that came pre-installed. I think I did download this through the KDE Discover store. And then, of course, I messed around with it to make sure I got my transparency the way I wanted it. Like, this is a really colorful background, so hopefully you can see through everything that's going on in the background. Let me see if I move it over here. Maybe you can see it better. But yeah, I just I don't know what it is about like transparencies, but I just think it's really cool. I think Windows attempted something like this with Windows, it was either Windows Vista or Windows 7, and the whole arrow system that they had set up, and people liked it a lot. And that was running on systems that had like pretty, by today's comparison, pretty minimal limited specs. I mean, I think things were still running off of like DDR2 memory back then. But yeah, like and it works. I guess they kind of did away with that on the Windows side with Windows 10. You didn't see a whole lot of transparencies from what I can remember. It's been a while since I've kind of dedicated my computer usage to Windows machines. Where I work currently, we do work with computers off and on, not a whole lot, but those just happen to also be using, I think, either a form of Linux. They're pretty restrictive on how far we can get into the system, so I'm not sure what they're using. Although I have seen like the XFCE symbol, the little mouse symbol, show up on screens. So since I'm seeing that, I'm guessing either they're using either some flavor of Linux or possibly BSD. But you know, it's beyond my access to go in there and like in mess and figure out what they're doing. Like my credentials don't give me that kind of access to their system. So I'm just guessing based on what I've seen, like surface level. But yeah, I've kind of rambled on at this point. Like I said, I'm just enjoying a trip. I had a few minutes and I decided I'd make a video on this. But let me know what you think. This is Refresh OS. This is the 3.0. It says it's Colorful Cosmos, I'm guessing is the name. This is one of those distributions that they give like its own individual name to, on top of just giving it a number as far as the version goes. But yeah, just be sure to check it out, see what you like about these things. Most of these, if they're based on like a main branch of Linux, like this one, obviously you see a little swirl here, so it's based on Debian. They're going to function a lot in a very similar fashion as other Debian versions of Linux, and because that's the kind of the backbone, the root of the operating system, a lot of the commands are gonna be the same. You can go in and update everything from the terminal. Let's see, what is it? It's like sudo apt update. I think updates the list of packages. Of course, you got to type in your password. I did this earlier today already, so it probably doesn't have anything to update. But yeah, it's just once you get familiar with one version of Linux that's based on something like Debian, if you then switch over to another Debian based version of Linux, it's going to be very familiar to you in terms of like how you navigate the terminal. At least in my opinion, in my experience, that's how it's been so far. So, and again, if anybody's watching this and you're way more experienced than I am, this what I'm saying here obviously isn't targeted towards you. It's just targeted towards new people. I'm a noob. I make videos, I guess, primarily for other noobs, but of course, I enjoy all viewers, and I definitely enjoy all feedback, especially if people are more experienced than I am and they have a lot more knowledge and can provide like some constructive feedback. That's always appreciated. But at this point, I'm just kind of rambling. So I'm going to get back to my vacation. You guys enjoy the. I did it right in time because here comes the air conditioning in this unit and it's very loud. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in another video. Peace.